Welcome everyone to the Melanin Marvels podcast. We live, and here are your hosts. My name is Adrian.
I'm Anika.
And I'm Debbie.
And today we're going to be talking about the season finale of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We will have spoilers here, so brace yourself. Let them know if you haven't seen it already. Watch it. Come back. But we're going to be talking about our overview of what our impressions were, and also what our impressions are of the entire series as well, and what stood out to us. So, with that, what was everyone's thoughts?
Loved it. The overall series and the last episode.
Me too. I got chills a lot of while I was watching the last episode and the series as a whole. I loved it.
I gotta be honest. I don't know if I read a review or two, so I think that might have tailored a little bit, but I feel a bit underwhelmed by it because I think there are a few character arcs and stories I wanted a bit more attention on that I felt like I didn't get. That, and some of the action sequences didn't really stand out to me.
Pause.
Yeah.
You felt underwhelmed with this episode or the season?
Oh, I'm talking about the episode. This episode.
Okay, because the season was good.
Oh yeah, the series was fantastic, and I think that's the thing. It's every episode prior to the season finale I thought was bangers, hits, thought-provoking, deep. And this one, it kind of played it safe. I feel like there are a lot of pieces there I wish that either they took some chances or they just took some more time to develop some of the character pieces. But all in all, episode was okay, but overall series was great.
You know what because I did love the last episode, but I will admit, I feel like because the Falcon and the Winter Soldier was a very different thing from WandaVision, and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier was like one of the Marvel action superhero movies, and the last episode was kind of like an ending of one of those movies where they beat the bad guy, and not to say that that's bad, but it is what that ending is what that was, which is
I think that's what Marvel is trying to do, because each of their series is supposed to be like a 6-hour movie,
right?
Where each episode is an hour long and there's 6 episodes. So the whole start to finish, it's supposed to be like a movie. Mm-hmm. Which I liked WandaVision, but this felt more real and relatable.
Definitely. So I'm curious to know, what are folks highlights of the episode?
Carly's death.
What?
Called it.
Oh, called it. Okay. I thought you meant that was a highlight for you.
Well, I mean, I called it, so it's just okay, it happened. Also, the power broker called that too.
We can come back to that, but yeah.
Let's see, what else? The ending, actually, where instead of it saying Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it said Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Give him his respect. Let's see. What else? The party that they had.
I was going to say that too.
That was touching.
Good old-fashioned kickback.
I liked Bucky flexing with the 2 kids on his hand, talking to his sister. We know what you're doing, Bucky. We know what you're doing. I love the flex.
That was good. I agree.
That's me up.
You know what? One of the highlights for me was Sam's little speech. I really did. I thought, I don't know. I think it was very much needed, and I think it showed everyone that he is the Captain America that everybody needs. Yeah.
Oh, highlight when he took Isaiah to the museum.
Oh yes, yes.
He took Isaiah and is it Elijah?
Yeah,
the grandson. That was such a sweet moment.
Yeah, I literally almost started crying. I don't know why I'm so emotional, but it was.
That was a very beautiful moment, and that one, like, it caught me up. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
But also it just adds like a great sort of like picture, like that. The last half hour, the last half of the episode really shows how Sam is like a distinct Captain America. Cause I feel like Sam is just. It really shows that Sam has like a story. Sam's like a fleshed out, and he's a human. You know, I feel like we've had how many Captain America movies? I don't know what happened in like Steve's personal life. I don't know what's happening there. But the fact that we've had, with the exception of like the first movie, you know, and like the beginning of the first movie, but besides that, Steve just seems like very like godlike in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And Sam, just how real he was throughout the entire series, how we had so much like a backstory and leading up to how he could be such a distinct Captain America through not only his fighting, which is low-key trash, but also how he's actually being able to be aware of what's happening around him and being able to fight, defend for rights outside of actions, but also through his words, also through like standing up for people as well. And we've seen that happen many times throughout the last bit of the episode. So loved it.
I was thinking too, while I was watching the last episode, I was thinking to like our episode 4 kind of breakdown. And when we said that like Sam, the way he's taking on this role, or the way, you know, when we created that episode, we knew he would be kind of taking on the role of Captain America. But I think we got to see that play out. Like Steve, as great as Steve was as Captain America, I don't think he never talked about the stuff that Sam publicly like talked about. He never said like you guys as the like government officials and people that have all this power, like you're fucking up. And Steve never really said that. And I am glad that Sam did. I feel like he took a stand for people who have been marginalized and disenfranchised, and that you see that difference. And I'm glad that they showed that. And I thought it was really powerful.
Yeah, because Steve might have felt some type of ways, like when he had removed the star from his uniform to like basically take a step away from like the American patriotic type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But hold on. Hi, Sean. Yeah, but Sam did it in a way that Steve never could.
Yeah.
Because once again, Steve didn't have that experience. And when he went into the ice, the world around him was probably very racist, but blatantly so. And Sam has had to deal with microaggressions his whole life, and dealing with life in the United States as a Black man and what it has become. So yeah, Sam just brings a whole different experience to it. And I feel like because he found out about Isaiah's past, it meant even more to him.
Mm-hmm.
That he had to make a change and he had to do something because he didn't want to disappoint Isaiah or people like Isaiah or other Black people in general.
Yeah, I guess hopping right into Sam. I think the one thing I'll say is like the last episode, I felt uneasy with how that conversation went with Isaiah and Sam. Because I feel like
in the garden?
No, when they're in the house. So I'm talking episode 5, not episode 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, where Isaiah was mentioning, like, you know, no self-respecting Black man would want to take on the mantle. But then, like, the follow-up conversation he has with his sister's like, oh, you're not going to get, like, Isaiah get in your head. I was like, oh, but he mentioned some really good points. I think I would have loved to see more of Sam's thought process of how he took what Isaiah mentioned and also learned to sort of, like, want that sense of responsibility of being able to re-see the mantle in a way that understands the problematic history with it, while also wanting to make the change and be like the hope for like a new sort of symbol of what it means. And Yeah, I feel like I would have wanted to see a bit more there because there's so many gems with that conversation. I would have loved to see more of like Sam's internal struggle a bit more with this.
I do think too, because they're doing a Captain America 4, where they're doing another Captain America movie. I think they will revisit that because I do see Isaiah like coming back, and I think we will get more of that interaction as well as Sam taking up the mantle and experience with it. So I think this was like the beginning of it, and I think they'll continue to show that because you're right, it is very important, I think, for everyone to see too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, another thing I will say, I like the suit. I think the fact that they teased us last episode, it was gonna be the traditional suit, kind of pissed me off a bit. I wanted to see an all black Wakandan suit with a little star in black and white. That's all I wanted, all black, everything, night mode.
Black Panther.
Yep, but it came from Wakanda, so I don't want.
Oh, they know though what the
I
design is like. It's for Captain America.
I saw on TikTok, Straw Hat Goofy had made a video about the costume design and how it kind of replicated one of Steve's, but where Steve has the 3 stripes, Sam only has 2, and that's because the missing stripe is to represent Steve's missing from there. Apparently, it's something to do about the formation of the planes and how they do like a certain formation to represent like a missing soldier or like a dead soldier. So yeah, that's why he only has 2 stripes instead of 3.
That's interesting. That's really cool.
Yeah. This is why I love Marvel. Even in these things, I feel like they take these things into consideration.
Yeah, because Steve is his buddy. Also, I seen this other thing where it's like describe the TV show in 10 words or less. And when describing this show, it is described as a buddy cop where neither of them are cops or really buddies.
I like
like Bucky and him are like they're not cops, but like they're not really buddies either.
I like that dynamic though. I feel I like how they like. I don't know. Because at the end you could very much see like they are buddies, and I think they're making their own little family, and it's nice. And I like how they kind of play it off like they're just people who know each other.
They're the type of friends that it's like you always pretend like you hate each other, but there's love under there.
It's nice.
Yeah.
I
need to start treating Divvy like that.
Why? Greg always treats me like that. I don't need another person. There's no need. I'm really very nice, so I don't know why you treat me this way. Anyways, like talking about Sam and Bucky, how do we feel about Bucky in the last episode? How are you feeling?
I felt like we needed more of him.
Me too, right? I did feel that.
I did not want him working with John Walker. Like, come on, guy.
I think, like, the scene, they were all in the same space. It kind of needed to be because we needed to highlight Sam. So I see why they went in that direction. So it was team. They needed to take down the people. I get it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, there wasn't enough Bucky, to be honest. But with reason. I think the big piece that I thought was a bit disappointing was at the end where he had to have that conversation with but I can't remember the man's name, the older gentleman who he
killed his son.
Yeah, that one. I felt so disappointed because I felt like the entire season was like sort of building up to this big moment where he's gonna like you're gonna have this conversation as intimate as it was with Sam and Isaiah, just be able to sit down face to face and just talk about what happened. And Bucky said little 1, 2, 3 words, and then we left him outside of like the bar, just
peeping in.
You know, it's like I wanted more. I wanted to see the conversation.
Oh my god!
But
yeah,
I'm just glad that he's done with that whatless therapist. She was not good. That is not how it's supposed to be done.
Yeah, I mean, I hope he finds a new therapist. I agree. Yeah. But yeah, Adrian, you know what? I'm kind of hoping they have like, you know how they have like extras or whatever? Like I'm hoping they'll put those out, and I'm hoping it's part of that. So I do agree with you. I do wish like we got a little bit more of that whole situation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm telling you, it's because everybody is in love with like Bucky and his sorrow. And it's kind of sad because that's all anybody wants to see, like, as opposed to him like reconciling and growing. Everybody's like in love with this sorrow, and it's I don't know, it makes me kind of sad.
It's interesting. I think I love the space that they gave him, though. Especially, like, I appreciate his character arc, because it would have been really easy to just have like Infinity War, where you see, oh, he's back, he's killing people, and not killing people, but he's helping out the good guys, and he's all good. But seeing this process that he was going through made me appreciate the character a lot. I think Bucky and all, like he's a good looking chap, but he didn't really stand out to me. But this season in particular, I appreciate the character a lot, and I need to see like a behind the scenes Bucky and Wakanda and what's going on. The streets are talking about it. The streets want to know what went down too.
Yeah, like what happened in those 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. What were you doing? Hanging out. What was doing? My God, friends. Okay, I didn't know that's where we were going with all this. But
okay. Which bald-headed woman?
Oh my God. Anyways, okay, you know what? Can we? I don't know if I want to state my fury about Sharon first or John Walker. So somebody pick.
Okay, go John. You want to just talk about John?
Yeah.
Okay, Divvy, take the lead. Go for it.
Me? Oh my God. Okay. I get, okay, oh, he made a good decision and by helping the people instead of going after Carly. Great, okay, fantastic. I'm still annoyed with his shield because, like, bro, the fact that it didn't snap in half, please. We all know in reality it would. 2, I think his whole little redemption scene is when a white guy does a bunch of bad things and then does one good thing, I feel like the whole world forgives them, and I feel like that's what this was. So I'm just annoyed. Like, okay, good, he saved the people, but still was that redemption or just a white guy getting another like easy? Oh, I don't know.
No. You see, a good example of a redemption arc would be Zuko in Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Okay.
This was not that. Yes, I understand that there's only 6 episodes and whatever, but like maybe they should have given him at least 2 episodes to try and like work on his redemption, just not 30 minutes. Like at the beginning of this episode, he had his budget shield trying to like it doesn't just happen like that. Mind you, from episode 5, I didn't know that there was a after credit scene. So when I was watching this episode, I'm like, where did he get a shield from?
Oh.
I'm like, what?
Oh my God, Anika. Oh my God. This guy. I can't. Even when he was doing it, I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What a fool. No, just...
And his face, like, oh.
Oh. Go, sorry.
Like when you see his side profile with his little thing on, I'm just like, your nose does not look attractive in that. Like, no.
Get off this man's face.
His face annoys me. He just has the face of like a bad guy. Like King Joffrey in Game of Thrones. Face like that. Face that you can hate.
Yeah.
Marvel, you did well. You picked the right person.
Yes.
Clearly.
And all you people who are sending death threats to him, he's just an actor. Relax. Take a chill pill. He's not
actor
real.
With a bad guy face. Leave him alone.
Yes. Okay, Andrew, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, I don't know if I would even brand. I didn't interpret what happened with John Walker as a redemption arc. I wouldn't have branded. I don't even know people were branding it as such. What I saw there was rushed writing to figure out what to do with John Walker, because Divya, you can know this. Like when it comes to John Walker, I enjoy the character. He's trash, but I enjoy his entire. I've enjoyed his arc. He's one of my highlights of the series.
From episode 1, this man's been saying this, so you know
You
it's
are
real.
Hold on. When I saw a man looking like up, like I wasn't saying, "Yo, I'm ready for this man." It was episode 2. Thank you very much.
No, why he's up, but okay.
But either way, like everything leading up to this episode, I was like, okay, so John right now, dark place, killed this person. Lamar's gone. I was expecting a bit more of him being in that space, a bit more of him dealing with like whatever traumas he's been through. I just expected him to be more there. Even when he started rolling up, ready to just kick some, what are they called? Flag smashers, mess them up. I needed more development there because I felt like it was left with that whole scene happening. Then he just comes out of nowhere, and then him and Bucky are like, hey, it wasn't like we just fought each other last episode or anything. What's going on, bud? Let's fight these guys. Like, it just didn't make sense. It didn't flow well for me. And then at the end where he's with Val, I don't know. I don't know how I would have wanted more because I felt like even Val's intentions is sort of like left up in the air willingly, but I don't know. There was a lot more. What? I got to deal with Buggy Paddle. Thank you. That's exactly what it was. It just didn't make sense to me. So I felt like the landing with John Walker fell kind of flat there. Wanted a lot more.
I am curious, like what the plan is, like or not, like what is going to happen with him and Val and all of it.
I feel like Val came out of nowhere. They didn't even really properly explain.
LA, they're doing that on purpose.
And she hates to be called Val. Like, okay. Yeah.
From what I've heard, I don't know if there's a spoilers or not. From what I've heard, she's the can I say this?
I can just say it because we already branded this as a spoiler. So
yeah, true. Okay, cool. So apparently she's supposed to be in Black Widow.
Okay.
And so this was supposed to be released prior to Falcon and the Winter Soldier to give context. So there's something there. And I feel I did a bit of digging and I feel like I could see a connection here. But yeah, I feel like based off of what Marvel's initial plan was with the series, we were supposed to get a bit of context prior to. I think that was supposed to be a bigger reveal than what it was.
Also, this is a side note, but I find that John Walker's wife is just so plain, bland. Like, she's just like a plain bagel. Not even a loaf of bread, a plain bagel.
No, I like bagels.
I do too, but she's just plain.
Now you know sesame seeds, girl.
I think this
like you don't know anything about her. She doesn't have any like striking features. Like she just looks like a background character. Like that you'd see. She looks like a person you'd see in the background. Like, what's her name? I didn't even catch her name.
Honestly, what is her name? Honestly.
What were you gonna say, Debbie?
No, I do the same. I feel like it's the same thing. Every Black person in John Walker's life is meant to like
expendable.
Expendables, like in service to him, so they don't matter as much. And I think this just like speaks to that, and it just is frustrating.
It's kind of like what I was telling you guys earlier about how Lamar is just a sidekick.
Yeah,
like he was expendable in a sense. Like he's just a sidekick where Bucky is seen as a partner to Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Like their relationship is so vastly different, even though John and Lamar were supposedly friends and like best friends, but yet Bucky and Sam weren't really friends. They just had a mutual friend, but they like were more in a partnership than those two.
Yeah, I don't know. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say that in that sort of comparison that you mentioned, I think there's also a really interesting narrative about like power there, where you can see like
White versus black.
Yeah, but also like even you can see how power and privilege is maybe handled within those two relationships, where you can see even distribution and respect amongst like Bucky and Sam, in acknowledgement of like end up just being on an equal playing field, as opposed to like this like imbalance that you could see within like Lamar and John. And and the one thing that they didn't realize as well that you brought up, Anika, that they've been friends for a long time, and like who knows how this sort of dynamic has been in play prior to him getting like the Captain America mantle. And yeah, this is very interesting.
Okay. Also, I know we didn't really do a cover of episode 5, but like John full out lied to Lamar's family. This is how you know he doesn't respect his best friend at all, because he just went and lied to those people about their child.
Right?
I was so
everything
angry.
about that scene was so weird. Because like, not to bring up his wife again, but if this is your husband's best friend and it's so difficult he died, why wouldn't you go with him? Why would you leave him to go to see this man's family alone? Also, was that girl his sister? Because that wasn't explained.
Yeah. That scene honestly was infuriating. I was really mad about that, because you have no decency at all, but this is what you're doing. That was really no.
Also, I never really looked into this, but who wrote this series?
Who is in?
Like, was it BIPOC people in the writing room?
I think. Well, I know the showrunner. I think what's his name, Malcolm something. I don't know what his like background is. I know like one of the writers is white, but I'm not too sure. I wonder
because I mean a lot was done exceptionally well, but then there was other things that is just like, okay, that don't seem right.
Well, like the things that I think we didn't like, that we found a problem with, I think they did that on purpose to show like this man is trash. Like, I think that was on purpose, because
this man is trash, but yet he still gets a title and a whole new outfit.
Yeah, fuck him. Okay.
Like, U.S. agent is supposed to be a good guy, no?
I was gonna ask about that, because the way that we left it.
I mean, I have it, but I've never read it.
Oh, okay. So in the comics, then, is he supposed to be a good guy?
I think so, because when I looked it up, it seems like he's done a whole bunch of things.
I feel like I see, from what my brief look at U.S. agent, I see it more as like, what is it? Who's a superhero who could be compared to? Like,
is he an anti-hero?
I think that's the vibes. I think that's the vibes with U.S. agent.
No, listen, here's
or like kind of how they had like Suicide Squad and other people where they're like bad guys, but then they do good.
I think
they like, turn out to good.
I feel like that's the case, because I feel like there've been like comics and stuff where like U.S. agent and Captain America were like sort of like throwing out this fisticuffs. But I'm just also, I haven't read any of this stuff as well, so who am I to say anything? Why, Divvy, something to look, because the reason.
No, sorry. For anti-heroes, we find redeeming qualities about them, right? There's a reason we like them. There's this. No.
Here's the thing. I think, I don't know about redeeming qualities as a viewer, but like he has this thing in his mind where he is trying to do good, and he has, served his country as a soldier. Like, the thing is, like, he's not a villain. He is doing things to try to serve, but he has his own way of sort of like looking into like what's right, what's justified, what's justice. So in that case, like, it kind of works. The narrative works for him.
Also, I guess he's kind of doing this U.S. agent thing as a means of survival, because remember, he was discharged dishonorably. He has no benefits. He has no like retirement, nothing. He just like tossed into the wind. Even though those people made him what he is.
I kind of think, like, Adrian, what you said, that kind of aligns him with like the mad Titan complex as opposed to an anti-hero. Like I don't I think because people like anti-heroes. I don't think in any world we're going to start liking John Walker. Like
But
maybe
She might be surprised.
get along, but I don't think as a person I'll ever be like, you know what, that John Walker, I don't think that is ever going to happen.
Oh, here's the thing, though. It doesn't matter if people like him or not. Like his purpose, vision is
Right.
aligned with it. You know what I mean? So, like, I get what you're saying, though. I don't think anyone's gonna be buying no John Walker action figures. If they do, that kid's trash. Those figures are trash. But yeah, I had a point I wanted to say here. Nah, I lost it.
Sorry.
But I feel like there are other heroes that exist that are like John Walker-esque, where like you see, I feel like I see John Walker as the type of person who's like wants to do good, but needs to be on like a tight muzzle or something. Like Val is gonna has her intentions with him and whatever they're gonna do, but he also acknowledged, hey, you know, you in my opinion, you did the right thing. Those guys were doing evil things and you killed them, and that's what the world saw as well. And it's just the fact that he was Captain America doing these things, he got disbanded from it, you know. But he was a person, as Nika said, doing what the state wanted him to do.
Yeah.
So
I guess we'll see. What happens. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, when are we going to see him again? Would it be in that Captain America 4?
God, I hope not.
Or another thing I heard as well is that, what was it? I think I heard out of the series that we've seen slash we're getting, that Falcon and Winter Soldier and Loki are more likely to get like other seasons.
Yeah.
While like WandaVision highly likely
It's just done.
Yeah. So there's also an option there as well.
You know what? Now that I kind of think about it, though, I think he will, if they do a second season for this show, he might, because the Captain America story often involves Hydra. So I think if he was to come back in anything, I think it would probably be in the next thing for this.
All right, yo. The next up, you want to dive into Sharon. That was another person. Shout out, Divvy.
Who? Anika, you can say your thing if you want, please.
Sharon is a POS.
POS.
I liked her before.
What does that mean?
Piece of shit.
Oh!
I used to like her, but when I theorized that she was the power broker and then it came out that she really was, like, you don't belong. Sorry, you don't deserve to get all your stuff given back to you.
Yeah.
All your titles and given a job, and like you're going to use that for your own benefit. And she's been doing this for a long time, being the power broker. Because if you think about it, if Zemo has been in jail for all this time and he knew about the power broker, it's been happening before the blip.
Oh.
Because obviously in jail he's not having access to all this stuff. And she had us going, like,
yeah,
she had us like on her side.
Yeah,
and it's because of her that poor Carly's dead. I think Carly could have gotten out and been changed. Like, she didn't need to die.
Yeah, I agree. I'm actually really surprised that they killed her, to be honest.
And like, yeah, she's racially ambiguous, but like, a lot of people view her as just a light-skinned black girl. Why are you gonna kill a black girl?
You know that scene where like Carly, Sharon, and I don't know what that other guy's name is. That guy, you know what guy?
Random French guy. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Barack.
Yeah.
Don't call that man no Barack.
No, yeah. Barack.
No Barack.
B-A-R-O-K or B-R-O. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, he was annoying. At every scene that he was in, I was like, what are you doing? Can you just please? I'm just annoyed by him. Anyways, so that scene where they're like, where Sharon, Carly, and that guy, like, they're at a standoff, whatever, and then Sharon and Carly, like, they're having a dialogue back and forth, and then Sharon's like, I just like wanted power and to like take over whatever structures and whatever. Like she just wanted all that power. And Carly is saying how she actually wants to help people and she's standing for a bigger cause. Honestly, that whole thing made me so angry because I feel like Sharon is like the embodiment of white women who are sad that they don't have power. They don't care about dismantling the system. They just want to take over power and still hold the same corrupt and violent system. And it made me that much more angry toward Sharon because of it. I was, I'm so, and they don't know. Sarah and Bucky don't know. They still don't know. I'm so, I'm so angry. I'm so
After Divi watched this, she actually messaged me. She's like, she's just white girling.
honestly though, it's so frustrating. It's fine. I'm fine. Anyways.
All right, so I'm gonna be real. Wow. Here's my thing. We saw the clues. Marvel was like, it just seems so rushed, and I still feel like it didn't make no damn sense. Like I could piece it together. She was one. Anika, you make a great point that it opens up just more questions as to how long she was the power broker for. Because if you're right, and that this was happening around Civil War, the same time that she was helping out and gave, the equipment and stuff to all of them. Who is Sharon? Like, I think
she's out here playing the long game.
No, but that's the thing. It seems so ambiguous at this point. Like, this episode, in order to make like that power broker reveal that it's been alluding to, needed more context. We needed a low-key flashback as to when this happened or something, because right now I felt like I just had whiplash. I was like, oh, you just the only explanation is that this little like 2 sentences that you're giving Carly, and that's it. Like, it just seemed very rushed. And that's like my overall impression of some of the character pieces. It just felt very rushed. I didn't like it. Like, a part of me wanted to think, oh, you know what, Marvel maybe? Because what my dream scenario was in this was that if Sharon was the power broker, she was affiliated with Val in some way, and that Val is like the mastermind behind all these pieces because she's like assembling some sort of group of folks who've been wronged or exiled by the system. You had like John Walker, who she reached out to, Sharon, who's been booted from S.H.I.E.L.D., and then being able to do something there, like something that just made sense. So now I'm supposed to believe that Sharon was booted from and erased, and then she happened to get all this power somehow from white girl powers and had accumulated all of this, I don't know, prestige, all this status, all this access, and she's just manipulating behind the scenes. I just didn't.
Well, I'm upset because her aunt was Peggy. The family already would have had power. I don't think it would have been that difficult to imagine that Sharon would manipulate the system using her power.
It could have just been explained more.
Yeah,
still, that's it. Then that makes complete sense. But there could have been more of a jaw dropping and also more of a resonation, because I think what the show did well was being able to have characters who have depth, where despite what they're doing, you can understand based on even John Walker, you get why he is the way he is. Sharon's just a bitch. That's what I got from it, and it came out of nowhere. And it just seemed like a huge betrayal based off of everything that you've done up until this point and building that character too, to just have the whole power broker thing come out of nowhere. So I'm
telling you, white girls just white girling. I'm telling you. It is. Sometimes it is like this. I think, I don't know. I think Marvel puts all these seeds to be like, we'll tell you later. But for right now, you're just going to sit displeased and confused.
See, I think now that you said that though, Divi, I don't know if it's just like me just being my feelings, because if this was a If this was a movie, you would have expected them to tie up some of these pieces a bit more neatly.
I don't think that's true with Marvel movies.
Really? Because
No,
like I
'cause
almost think that if
No,
it
go
was like if I took a TV show perspective on it, then they tied up the season narrative but left open a piece to follow up with for another season. I could sort of pull that. On a movie, to have something like this, I would have expected it to just tie up a bit more. And maybe that's it for me.
Honestly, I think even as the movies, they do that a lot. And I remember when the first time I watched, like the first time in life where I started watching the movies, I remember being like confused at the end of it because a lot of things were up in the air. Because I'd be like, wait, did I miss something? So I feel like they do that a lot.
Okay.
But I think it's fair for us to be like, but you could have told us a little more. Like, just something to help make sense of it. Yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll see with that too.
Yeah, sure. Are there any other sharing pieces there you want to go over?
Nika?
Classic white girl.
Okay.
Right. What are we saying about Isaiah?
Love him.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, like, this might be a reach, or I'm just like making my steps too big. But his grandson, I wonder if they're gonna do the Young Avengers with him, because in the comics he's a part of the Young Avengers, and Marvel's already lining up the others. Got America Chavez coming. We got Miss Marvel coming, even though Miss Marvel wasn't part of the Young Avengers. But I think that with Loki, this new one coming out, maybe something might happen where they put him back in time where he becomes his teenage self. So that would align with the Young Avengers. We've already been introduced to Ant-Man's daughter, and she's in the Young Avengers. So, like, maybe it's gonna happen.
Wanda's kids, no?
Yeah, and Wanda's kids.
Yeah. That would be, yes. We're ready.
But like, I feel like it's still far too early, because with them bringing in these newer ones, these newer adult ones, like, I don't know. Like, how are you gonna have Sam as Captain America, but then you're just gonna automatically have Isaiah's grandkid as Patriot? Is it Patriot? Or is Isaiah Patriot? I don't even remember. But
I mean, that's exciting. I think I see that more as like Marvel just like planting a seed there and doing what Marvel does. Because I think you're right. This phase in particular is introducing a whole bunch of new people in general that they can't rush it at this point. And I sort of trust the vision in the process, but I could see they introduce it now and then later on, whether it be, I'm thinking like not even like next phase, but being able to find opportunities to develop some of these folks a bit more. So it's cool. It's cool that they're sort of adding an extra layer to things to show that they have all of these pieces that they could build on in the future.
That scene at the end with Isaiah and Sam, where they go to the museum, that was perfect.
Beautiful.
I wasn't expecting it, but it was perfect. Yes.
The intentionality with it, like I love how the show ended where it began with Sam, where we started off with Sam sort of like having trouble seeing himself as Captain America. We now have a black man both as Captain America, but also recognized in that too. And that's what I'm going to make a slight pivot and come back. See when they do this, because Marvel does a great job at this. When they're intentional with their stuff, they do amazing jobs. All right, this power broker shit don't make sense. It's tough. Either way, coming back. Yeah, it was a very beautiful scene there too. I really liked how, because I just thought that Isaiah was just gonna be in the shadows. I thought that all we're gonna get from Isaiah was him watching Sam on the TV going. I'm like, okay, that's all I expected. So this for what I got there with Isaiah, and also him just sort of having his own his relationship with Sam was just like cool ass uncle who's kind of has like a grudge on the world, but I loved it. So Isaiah's whole story fantastic. And I think while we started off with a narrative talking about like the world around us in relation to, I guess, in relation to being able to see folks represented, but also who has access to power and just like idea of the mantle. I like how the show ended with the idea of hope and the idea of being able to, the power of being able to have folks be in these positions, be in these mantles, and the change that could happen with these folks have the opportunity to do so. So, and the responsibility and the impact that you can create by being the person. And even the idea of like the I think not enough symbolism was, or not enough an opportunity was taken of Sam really wanting to rewrite the idea of Captain America. And I think hopefully they do it more so in 4, but it's a responsibility that he has right now. He says, I might die in the process of doing this too. It was real powerful. Files all over the place. Isaiah, that character arc was wonderful. I loved it.
Yeah. Have we talked about all the characters?
Carly. About Carly.
I'm just sad. I didn't want her to die. I don't understand why they killed her. Sharon. Okay. I'm just sad. I think Carly, she was an interesting character.
Yeah.
I feel like, as I said, she had the chance for change. I feel like she could have changed, but her life got snuffed out. And then when those people were being taken away, and the officer is on their side.
I wasn't mad about that. Honestly and truly, I just wasn't. I wasn't mad about the officer being on their side. Like them dying, like I was mad about that. But I wasn't mad that like people were still like one world, one people. I wasn't mad about that. Because I get their cause.
Did those people die, or it was the people in front of them?
I think it was them. It was them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who planted that?
Zemo.
Oh, Zemo. Yeah, Zemo. His butler.
It was his butler, yeah. In the car, nodding. Oh, okay.
Yeah. The one, I call him Alfred.
Yeah.
He pretty much is.
Like, what? He literally is Batman.
He is.
I swear. Oh my God, Zemo, why?
I like that sort of like, because Zemo went too soon, IMO, but the fact that they had him sort of like planning this all along, or at least had that intention, was cool. But also, this is in relation to what I mentioned before about Marvel playing it safe, because it's easy to just like wipe out all the flag smashers, and then the whole one world, when people think it doesn't exist anymore. They were going to move on from that plot, as opposed to having them lingering and potentially be able to build on that as well. Because as you mentioned, Divvy, it's a really interesting point of the consequences of like folks coming back from the blip. That I feel like they said, okay, we had the story, we talked about it, kill him. We're good. We're going to move on.
You know what though? I don't think that means I think that storyline might come back, because I think for a long time we thought once Hydra was gone, it was gone, but I think we learned that it's not gone. Even now, it's not gone. I think there's a chance for maybe not necessarily the flag smashers, but that issue and people fighting for those displaced people, I do think that will come back. Which is sad, but I'm glad that they're talking about it. I think it's an important thing to unpack. I don't know. But I think it's important to show that story, to be honest. I think there are a lot of displaced people in this world. Zemo wins again. I swear Zemo has just been winning. Like,
yeah.
I swear, because like obviously Zemo's a bad guy, but like people love him, especially that episode when they were in the club. People went off. They loved Zemo in that.
This is what I'm talking about. I feel like Zemo would more fit into an anti-hero than John Walker, because even though Zemo doesn't care about goodness, Zemo doesn't give a shit, but everyone still likes him, and everybody's like, you know what? Zemo's doing what he feels is right. If John Walker did anything like that, they'd be like, fuck you, John Walker.
And Zemo had like some good qualities, because remember when he approached that little girl who was a part of was it an orphanage or something? Like, yeah, like he was really nice to her.
He's nice or manipulative though. Like there's a difference.
Still.
I mean, I don't
Some
know. I feel
people
like
would
you
do
could be
that.
nice to a child and still be a raging asshole and terrible person. Like, I mean, come on.
I feel like John wouldn't have done that.
Sure.
John's just a bitter man, and he wouldn't even help a child.
Sure enough. Yeah, okay. All right.
Everything, if it's not about John, doesn't matter.
Well,
So I think the only other piece I didn't really talk about that I wanted to bring up is like Sam related.
sorry. Sean said I
Hmm.
felt this series expanded Zemo more than in Civil War. Yeah,
For
100%.
sure. For
Yeah.
sure. All right. So here's the thing. Sam, all right, new Captain America. Excited. All right. I like how he's unique and being able to carry what he was as Falcon with the wings, with the shield. Traditional. Cool. This man can't fight for shit, and I don't like it. How was he fighting Mr. Frenchman for half the damn episode? Well, we had like that whole fight sequence there with this man struggling. I was like,
yeah, me too.
Adrian, he's not a super soldier.
I don't
The
care.
man's
So
used
what's
to
the
just
French
being
man?
on his wings and not really fighting. He's just flying around.
Like,
He's only good at doing
fair. That's
flips. The man's still learning. That's like if you were to just all of a sudden become a superhero.
yeah, and you know what would happen? The editors would put me in a way where I'd be able to kick ass for each. Because the thing is, like Anika, you make so much sense. You make I understand. It's just that this man just got because all the other fight sequences too were wonderful. No complaints at all. Fantastic. We have normal ass Crooney #1 fighting Sam for a good 5 minutes. Everything else is happening. Sharon even. Hey, my bad. Knocked him, dissolved a man in a couple of seconds, and Sam is struggling. And not only is he struggling, he leaves the man, throws his thing, au revoir, and went away.
Did you
Where is he?
I don't understand.
Huh?
Did you want him to kill him?
I didn't want him to kill him, but like I felt like they finished fighting, and man was on his knees, au revoir, and he went. Everyone else got beat down, knocked out. Sam, your first big fight, Captain America.
You want him to curb stomp the man?
Yo, and this man saved people in a helicopter, or whatever they were flying in. Faster. That was cool. Faster than he took him to fight that damn man. That man pulled up that bus of people. All right. Faster than it took him to fight Mr. Normal ass Frenchman #1. That whole scene just pissed me off because it didn't make sense. He threw his shield at 3 super soldiers and they got knocked out.
Yeah.
Faster than it took him to take out French Crooney Man #1 from the first episode. It made no damn sense. I'm mad. I'm gonna calm down.
You're right. You are correct. You are.
Adrian, you need a sip of water.
I do.
Cool yourself down.
This didn't make no sense.
You know what? I will say his entrance though in that scene was superb. His like Captain America entrance, I thought that was really good. So
that was
points
cool.
for entrance. There we go.
Definitely. Oh, like there was a part where I can't remember what was falling on him. Was it like a plane or something? He had the shield up with his wings covering.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Wonderful. I loved it. That was cool.
Yes.
Red Wing coming back. Loved it.
Yes. So,
like I discuss this show with my boss all the time, and like I told him, I'm like, in this episode, he's going to get wings as well as his shield. And my boss is like, no, like that's just dumb. Like he's not Falcon anymore. I'm like, you want to bet on it? I should have bet money because I knew that they were gonna still give him wings. Like that's how it is in the comics. Why would they not give him his wings?
Exactly.
Like he's not a super soldier. He needs something.
Yeah.
I would have been very concerned if they didn't give him his wings. I would have saw that as selling out. I would have said, Sam, you're going to be putting away everything that you've like developed and learned from yourself. Put it away just to hold the shield. That would have been concerning. But the fact that he stayed true to himself while also taking on the mantle and having both, and also it's just cool aesthetically. Like I'm ready to cosplay as Falcon. I've been waiting, and this is my time.
Even though in the past he's been like the not cool one, because it's like, oh, you're just a bird. Falcon. You're nothing
I
cool.
I've always felt flying is cool, but okay.
Yo, I need to do a shout
Falcon
out
has always been seen as not cool.
I need to shout out to my video game nerds out there. So there is a scene when you see the fight's over, you're seeing Sam walking. Everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, are you so Falcon? Are you so Captain America? Are you Captain Falcon?" Captain Falcon is from Smash Brothers and F-Zero. And my man, someone in the comments, I can't remember who, in one of my videos was like, or one of our videos was like, "Oh man, I need to call him Captain Falcon." And I was like, "This is so cool. He needs to be saying some Captain Falcon stuff." It was just so funny. So it's so cool. Thank you, Marvel, for doing that little Easter egg there with Captain Falcon. That's yeah, that's all.
How am I missing these comments?
He plays no pushover. He can get beat by Steve, but Sam isn't on the caliber of his fighting skills. Sorry, I mumbled and read that, but everybody read it. So
it's because I have it minimized on my screen.
Anika.
Like on my TV.
You know what? Even if Sam's fighting skills aren't, I mean, I don't know anything about fighting skills. You know, I'm not. But even if it isn't up to par as people would like it, I feel like, again, I feel like he has so many other superpowers that I think makes him stand out as Captain America, and I think that was highlighted really well in the episode.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Did we talk about this? I'm forgetting if we talked about this off camera or if we talked about it on camera. Have we?
What?
Just
we
like
talk about what?
the scene where like Sam talks to government officials in front of.
Yeah.
We didn't really like flesh it out. So if you want to talk a bit more about it, dude.
I just think that really shows the type of Captain America and the type of superhero that Sam is. He knows he now has power and visibility, and people are looking to him to see what he's saying about these displaced people, and he knows that experience, and he took the chance to actually talk about that instead of just being like a superhero, fight's done, leaving. I'm really glad that scene happened. I think that changed the game for what it means to be Captain America. Yeah.
Well said. Well said.
So I love Sam. So there you go.
I think, did you say you don't know anything about fighting?
No, I know things about fighting. I don't know anything about fighting skills. I'm not a fucking
Adrian, I don't know if Divvy's ever told this to you. But
I could throw down. Like, that's fine. But I don't
Divvy's
like
her famous line is, "I'm scrappy."
I have heard this. I have heard that catchphrase.
Always says, "I'm scrappy." I'm like,
no,
okay.
but it's true. It's true. But like, I don't know that means like I feel like fighting skills are like when you have moves, like when you have like those specific moves that you do.
Combos.
Yeah, those.
What you do with the combos?
If I need to take someone down, I will. But I don't know that's like, you know, those like things that people do. Okay.
Future Melanin Marvels. Anika v. Divvy.
Nika, I'm not trying to hurt you. Don't be silly.
I'll be announcer. Cool. Round 1. Fight. Okay.
I'll come with the bat.
Y'all friends. All right, cool.
Anyways.
All right.
My Moana ore.
2 other P's. I don't know, it's kind of 2 directions we can go. Either like talking about the series as a whole, which I feel like we've kind of alluded to here and there. All right, so a lot of folks have been comparing Falcon and the Winter Soldier to WandaVision. And
well, I mean, I guess go ahead.
No,
sorry.
I just want to throw it out there. Like, what are your thoughts on some of the things that what have you been hearing, and what are your thoughts?
I haven't been on the internet much this week. I'm not sure what I've been doing, but I just haven't been on the internet much this week. So maybe this is like an uninformed take, but I don't really. They're such different shows, and I think they did such different things. Marvel made them different on purpose. Like they did. they didn't want them to be fighting each other. That wasn't the point. The point was to tell two different traumas and stories and that were supposed to stand separately, but still further the MCU narrative. So I don't really understand the battle between them two.
I found that, mostly white people who I talked to about the show they say that they can't really get into the show, or it doesn't really resonate with them like Falcon. And they found that they actually enjoyed WandaVision more. And I feel that this is because they can identify with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because it's speaking on an experience that they have not and never will experience, because they are living a life of privilege and they don't know what it means or feels like to live as a minority in a nation like that, or to have these microaggressions,
or
something as simple as the police not taking you serious, or asking for identification when there's just a little like bout in the street, like your voice gets a little loud.
I wouldn't even consider that just microaggression. That's like flat out state violence. Like,
yeah, so like they feel like a lot of people can identify more with fantasy and with other things within the white communities or white bodies doing certain things, as opposed to this show, because as it is, it's the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The main character is a black man, and him getting the mantle of a title that has always been a white man's title. And like a lot of people don't want to see the face of America as a black man.
I think. Go ahead. No, please go ahead.
And for like the most part, us as BIPOC people, we've had to live our lives and consume media through the lens of a white gaze. But white people don't do that for us. Like we have our specific, like, oh, there's like Latin shows, there are black shows or whatever. And it's like, it is known and well known among us, but to them, it's just like, oh yeah, I think I heard about that. Or like, oh yeah, like I heard it, but like I didn't really watch it. But like we watch and consume all of their media and all of their shows because it's normal, even though we don't live the life of them. Like we watch the TV and like, kind of like how in WandaVision, she could imagine herself in those lives. As kids, as adults, we watch their media and we can see ourselves in that, but they are unable to see themselves in our shows or in our lives, or even kind of, they're unable to empathize with us. Like we can empathize with them and be like, even though we will never have the privilege that they have, we can imagine or like kind of take that into account, but they can't do that for us.
I don't think it's that they can't.
Or they choose not to.
Exactly. They won't. They don't want to. Yeah.
Let me highlight this.
I know nothing about. Okay, I'll read it out loud. Sorry. I know nothing about comics, but are these themes you just mentioned in the Marvel comics as well, or are they just in the shows? Okay, Shalina, this is just it too. And
comic books are hugely political. Hugely. Throughout the years. It's not a new thing either. Since the 60s and whatever.
Mm-hmm. So, and that's just it. All of like the white audiences that are going to reject Falcon and the Winter Soldier because it took a political route and things like that. If you don't get this, and if you can't empathize with it and you don't understand it, then you've never gotten the comics. So you're not a real fan. So pack your bags and go home. Like no, but really, like I just like, are you blind? I don't understand. I just,
Yeah, y'all shared my thoughts. I don't really have much to say other than I find it very interesting that anytime you have someone of color, someone with a different identity, whose story is fleshed out, whose has opportunity to understand how like their identity relates interacts with society is always branded as it being political, when it's like these are the lived experiences of people, and that's what's being showcased here. So why is it that I feel uncomfortable because it's too political? Like, no, this is people's lives. Like, I could think there are people who identify with each one of these things that have happened in these episodes. Talking about political, it doesn't make sense. Regardless, it's like the branding itself seems like it tries to make it inaccessible and more of an excuse for people to not rule into play other people having different experiences than them. Like there's some sort of agenda when it's like these are people's lives that they're given an opportunity to give a narrative to. So
that was perfect, Adrian. It's so true. I think when they brand it as political, it allows them to like negate the humanity of it, the human experience of it.
Yeah.
Or like by branding it as political, it makes us more like you're just trying to be political, or you're just trying to like make something out of something that it's not. And it's like they just think it's a conspiracy, or like it's just a theory when it's actually true. Like when this whole season started, people from the very beginning had said that this show is about the racial inequalities and the racial treatments of Black people in America. And a lot of white people were like, no, like why you got to bring race into everything? Why do you have to make everything political when like even the writers meant to do that? These people only believed it once the writers said so. But yet, when you're in school and everything, and you're in English class, you're told to analyze every little thing about a book, but you can't analyze this for what it is. Like you're saying to me that the house is red means something about like, oh, they went through so much pain, but you can't see this that's thrown into your face. Stupid, ignorant, foolish. Open your eyes, take off your rose-colored glasses, and see the world for what it is.
They don't know how privileged they are to have those rose-colored glasses.
They don't.
All right. Well, that was Anika. You dropped the mic there. I can tell you about many a times when I have an English class, people making reaches for things I hear in the literature. Like I don't care what you say. All right, I'm gonna go on a whole tangent. I'm not even gonna go there. But this was a fantastic conversation. And
wait,
I think what's up?
Before we end, I just think we should mention that end scene at that little party that they had.
Oh yeah, sure, shoot.
Oh no, I was just gonna say it was fantastic. We should end on a hopeful note.
Oh, true. Yeah. Once again,
was beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, Bucky hollering at homegirl. You know, we can see that in the sequel. Yeah, and it ended nicely. Them looking into the sunset or something like that, and then walking around, hand pat on the back, buds. It was wonderful.
Yeah, you can.
All right. So with that, thank you all for joining us in our live discussion of the season finale of Falcon and the Winter, Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Pardon me. If you have any other thoughts, feel free to comment. And I don't know. On that note, Anika, let them know where to follow us.
Follow us on Instagram at the Melanin Marvels. Follow us on here. Like smash that like button and click that subscribe button. And while you're at it, tap that bell so that you know when we drop new stuff, the notification bell. And you can find our podcast on Anchor. So if you actually go to our Instagram page, then you can click the link in the bio and everything is right there laid out for you. So do with that what you will. Please support us. Blurds. And Divvy.
And Divvy.
Anyways, we out.
Bye.
Bye.